This competition is unlike any other competition out there, on the planet for that matter. First of all, having all of these credible judges. I mean, judges that are journalists, that are spirits writers, that are mixologists, but all of whom are professional tasters, who taste every single day of their lives, who are dedicated to a very specific technique and methodology of tasting. Everybody tasting within that same program, but with our own personal taste, with our own personal styles. That's the key. There are always going to be questions in any tasting, and what we have done by having a very, very structured style of tasting, we are eliminating as many of those issues and questions so that this, in my personal opinion, is the fairest tasting that has ever been performed on this planet. If I had to describe UBC in one word, I would say, first of all, it is necessary. But I'm going to give you more than one word, because I have a lot of words. First would be necessary. UBC in one word would be fair. UBC in one word would be, in one phrase, striving for perfection. I think that's the most important part. Trying our best to do the best that we can with no hidden agendas, everything's completely blind. Nobody knows what the spirits are. And by going through several stages of the competition, we're hoping that the best spirits cannot be overlooked and that subtlety, elegance can be recognized, perfection can be found, and that blockbusters or spirits that are in your face are not necessarily going to get the best scores. It's all about quality of distillation, which is what spirits are all about. There is no competition in the world that is judged the way this competition is judged. First of all, the quality of the judges. Secondly, the technique that is being used. The fact that every single person in this room is considered one of the greatest spirits tasters in the world. Many of them the greatest mixologists in the world, writers, journalists, but people who taste for a living, who taste every single day. It's a dedication for them. The program, the format that's being used is absolutely as fair as it can possibly be. There will always be, in any competition, questions. And in this, we've done everything we can to eliminate those questions.
I want to be part of the Ultimate Cocktail Challenge, which is what we're doing here today, is something that hasn't been done before, actually, which is to take different brands and compete one against the other in a cocktail. Really is a unique opportunity for a brand to see, well, how do I look in a martini? How do I look in a vodka tonic? How do I look in a margarita? So it's been challenging and very interesting. I want to be part of the Ultimate Cocktail Challenge because, frankly, it's never been done before. We've never had an opportunity to look at brands individually in a cocktail. The cocktails remain the same, the brands change. And this is a unique opportunity for a brand to see how it's going to look against their competitors. What's unique about it is the cocktail portion of it, which no one else is doing. Spirits competing against one another in a cocktail. What makes the Ultimate Beverage Challenge unique is that we are pulling one element out of a cocktail. Now, a cocktail by its very nature is an amalgamation, a group of flavors coming together to create a new wonderful flavor. To try to pull out the alcoholic portion and rate that singly, it's a challenge. That's why we call it the Ultimate Beverage Challenge.
Judging for this competition is different because, again, you're judging cocktails. You've got the same category of spirit in 5 different, say, Sazerac cocktails. You really see the nuances that a spirit brings to a cocktail. Judging for the UCC is different from judging other competitions because you're judging the spirit in its context. So the recipe serves as a background, and you really see what a spirit can bring to a cocktail. What sets UCC apart from other competitions is the careful way it's been assembled and structured, and the quality of the back-of-the-house personnel. We don't rely on volunteers. They're all paid bartenders making these drinks, executing them as well as a drink can be executed, and that makes a huge difference.
Well, I think the ratings are just more precise and more exact. The judges are given far more time with each product. We're not rushing anybody along. Judges are seeing far fewer products than in a typical competition where you will sit down for an afternoon and you're brought flight after flight, and then by the end of it, you have dozens, even over 100 products. We never ask our judges to do that. We allow them to have time with each product because we want them to be very exacting in the way they do it. And at the end, they're coming up with a score. They're not just basically throwing out a medal. It's not a gold, it's not a bronze, it's not a silver, and then move on. We're asking them to very precisely identify how much they like and how much they prefer each product. That way, I think we get very detailed results. You know? If I was going to sum UBC up in one word, I could choose so many words, but I choose innovative over everything else, because at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. When you look at the other competitions that are out there, they're based on the same model. One repeats the other, repeats the other, repeats the other, and ours is quite different, and there's no one who's doing it the way we're doing it.